Harry Potter and the Half-Blooded Prince visual effects, special effects. Go.
Welcome back to AsArt with Nick and John. We post 3 videos a week. Hit the subscribe button to stay updated to all of our videos. We also have links to our podcasts and other fun stuff at asart.space. And since we're on the topic of Harry Potter, we've been doing a lot of cool deepfakes with different characters with Brian Seeker. Check them out. We got Adam Driver as Snape, and some other really good ones. Okay, John. This is one of my favorite Harry Potter films. It's not my favorite, but I always enjoyed this movie. But I probably enjoyed the book more. This is one of my favorite books of the Harry Potter series. I really enjoyed this book. So
looking at it from a visual effects, special effects standpoint, the last iteration we had, we felt like the special effects were maybe off a little bit. I feel like they were back to form this one.
Yeah,
do you as well?
Right?
And honestly, it kind of made me think of Prisoner of Azkaban, where we had longer shots than we did in the previous ones. Did you were you catching that as well, or not?
Yes,
really?
I was catching that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the whole just tone of this film is so good, and I think that's why I like it so much. I just like the tone. There's a couple shots here, like the fight sequence in the bathroom, and some other really cool tones, and just the way it's filmed with like a hazy blur, and everything just seems uncertain.
Yeah.
And I just really like some of the choices they did in this. So let's start off with the bridge scene. I know we've talked about the effect all the time with them flying and appearing, where it's like that kind of
which John is a huge fan of, which awesome. I'm just like, yes, more.
But what did you think of the whole like, first there's like a skull and it's like formed in the clouds, which I was like, oh, this is John's kind of stuff, man.
Yeah,
he's probably foaming at the mouth.
That's my type of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. You guys can't see on the monitor here because it's all blurry, but I put up this crazy kind of, dark thing out there. But yeah, I was like.
So one thing that was funny that I noticed, because when we do this, I've watched the footage a couple times, you know what I mean, while we're going through it. Once they break through the brick wall and they go to Diagon Alley, there's like hardly anyone on the streets, and then when it cuts to the live action, there's like multiple people running away from the building.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's funny. I did really like that shot though. They had this really long, it almost was like a Peter Jackson type shot where he would fly through mortar, or not mortar, but where Rakai are all being made. That's like a Peter Jackson type shot, but it's cool because all right, we're taking you from one place. And it is a special effects shot, a visual effects shot, but we're taking you to this other place, and we're kind of giving you a little bit of story along the way. So I thought it was a cool shot, but yeah, it is kind of funny when they burst out. Yeah. When they're going, no one. When they burst out, it's kind of funny. I didn't even think about that.
Funny. Well, I mean,
what about the actual buckling of the bridge? Did you think the bridge? I
loved that shot. I just loved it because I've actually stood on that bridge before. And I was so excited when I was there with Ali. I'm like, this is the bridge that warps. And I think it works because of the design of the bridge, because there's like the long poles or ropes or whatever.
Yeah,
so when it
it's
turns,
made
it
to
just
be
really
very
kind of gives it
resilient,
that kind of flexible kind of feel. And I thought it worked. I wasn't a fan of the scenes of like people running, getting off of it, but like the shot of it bending and warping just looks so cool.
I've never seen a bridge do that before, so I can't tell you how realistic that looks. But you're right, though. I mean, buildings in areas that have earthquakes, or especially bridges that are crazy like that, they are made to be very flexible and very, kind of free-flowing. You'd have to see a real simulation to see what it would look like. But I assume they probably made it pretty realistic. Yeah.
Okay, and then we're going to go to Slughorn. So
yes, yeah.
I've always liked that. I always like stuff like that with magic, when everything kind of goes back to place.
And honestly, there's a lot of crazy special effects and visual effects shots in these movies, but I feel like that was maybe one of the most complex, just because there was so much going on in front of live action characters, and in front of and behind, like those were complex. That actually kind of reminded me, this is a very much more toned down shot, and this movie is much older. But if you guys have seen Fight Club, there's a scene where the camera's kind of panning and Edward Norton's walking around his condo, and you've seen it populate. Completely different type of shot, completely different type of context, but it's kind of like that, just on massive amounts of steroids, where instead of adding in things here and there, they're completely, populating or fixing the room, which is crazy. I thought that was a beautiful shot.
So much fun. It almost looked like, too, they were messing with the timing of the footage, too.
Yeah.
I noticed, like, with Harry's eyes, I thought at first it was shot in reverse. his reaction, but I don't know.
I thought it was at first too, but then there was just too much going on, and they wouldn't have put Harry there, or the guy that plays Harry Potter with stuff exploding, even if they were going to play it backwards. Because a lot of times they do record stuff backwards. Like in special effects, if you wanted to see a candle, kind of going out, you would just, or just spontaneously lighting, you would do that in reverse. You would get compressed air, blow it out, and play it back.
They actually, I think, use that effect later on. We'll talk about it later on, though. I'll mention it later on, but it is in the bathroom
But it is a common
sequence.
thing. But so both of us were thinking about that, but then it got so complex as far as the shot that they had to do some crazy witchcraft in order to get that working for sure.
So when they apparate, that's when they like disappear and kind of teleport to anywhere. What do you think? Do you like the way it's like a figure eight kind of when they like warp away?
You mean when they're just kind of going to different spots and things like that?
When they like teleport.
I think it's fun. I mean, obviously there's a million different ways you can do that, but I'm glad they just kind of figure out their own kind of flavor of doing it, and they're kind of sticking with it. I think that's fun. I mean, this is an odd comparison as well, but when Gollum for Lord of the Rings came about, people were saying that they were saying in the documentaries behind the scenes, they're saying everybody has an idea what Gollum looks like, but it's never the same. You read the words and it comes out, but so it's like the same thing with portals and teleporting. It's like, okay, what does that look like? But it's really fun stuff.
And then I threw this one in there just for you, John. Did you notice? Is that the same dragon rig that they used on the palm of the hand? The dragon that was warming the nuts, or whatever they were.
Did you just say that was warming the nuts? Is that?
You don't remember that sequence where the dragon's like it's like blowing fire?
I don't remember a dragon warming the nuts.
Oh,
what are you talking?
Gosh. Forget it. You didn't watch this part. Anyways, back to this. I thought it was cool because I thought they used the same rig. I was going to point it out, but you have no. When they do the memories, when they go into Dumbledore's memories to see Lord Voldemort as a child, what were you a fan of? The way the ink droplets kind of formed all the buildings and stuff.
Yeah,
I thought that's a John shot.
Yeah, you know what? I love that's a John shot. Yeah, I love this kind of practical plates where you can take like a fish tank, drop ink in there, and you get these cool kind of things you can use for motion graphics. Obviously, they took it way further and had it turn into buildings. I just thought it was a cool transition.
And people too.
And honestly. Yeah, and I just liked the look of the memories as well.
I know, really with cool the very look. John look, the green.
And I just the John look. It's so funny. I'm going to be profiled like in Westworld, but it's kind of funny because I really enjoyed the kind of backstory on Tom, right, on Voldemort, and I just really enjoyed those from a story aspect, but I really like how they differentiated the color grading and the slightly blown out but kind of yellowish highlights. I thought it was a really cool look.
Kind of like gloss kind of blur.
Yeah, almost like a glamour shoot, but not a glamour shoot, but it kind of has that look to it. But it was really, really cool and insightful. Yeah.
And the colors were just amazing, right?
Yeah. Color grading, I mean, definitely on all these movies is amazing. And this is where you were getting digital color grading in Lord of the Rings as well, concurrently at the same time. It just really took movies to a whole other level. You had stuff like that before, but this is when this was really kicking in as an industry for sure.
Okay. Updated Quidditch. What do you think? Did the Quidditch look better than from? I mean, we're going every movie. Do you think?
Yeah. So it's funny. I'm like, oh, here's our Quidditch again. But you know what? I actually maybe liked this maybe the most. Because all the other ones were extreme. The first one was just perfectly green grass, perfect conditions. Then we had crazy rain. Yeah. Then we've had... And so this one was kind of like the field's not in great shape. It kind of has... Especially when they're doing the training, it kind of has like holes in it. It's like I just kind of like how as the movies have gone along, things have kind of... As the world is kind of breaking down with Voldemort, the world is kind of decaying as well, it seems like. And I mean, obviously they're just kind of looking for a different look as well, but I like the idea that everything's not perfect. It's like going from 2001: A Space Odyssey, where everything looks pristine, to going to Star Wars, where everybody's like, I love this used look. I love this, kind of more weathered look. And that was a huge thing. And they're not doing it to a huge effect here, but I guess I like the look of that a lot.
Yeah, and then it looked great when they were playing in the snow too. And there's like shots
Oh,
where they're
yeah.
like on the ground, and then the camera gets like water droplets on it from the snow and stuff.
Yeah,
It's just-
yeah.
It's
Really,
so much
really cool
interactive
stuff.
compared to the other games, I feel like.
And you know what? There was a shot in particular when they were playing the snow where it's so close to the ground, where it's, I don't know, they had shots close to the ground before, but just the way they did the camera work on it, I thought it was really, really fun.
It felt
so the
really
camera work is
smooth, right?
good. Yeah, yeah. Well, but it felt a little bit like they were having to adjust to. They're like, almost like where you get like a Star Wars trench run type thing, where you're like, kind of like that a little bit. Yeah, yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, whoa. You know what I mean? It's like,
Earthquake in California, whoa. But
awesome.
yeah, no, I thought the Quidditch is funny because every movie I keep thinking, I'm gonna get tired of this finally, but no, still fun, still fun.
And it's the last time you'll see Quidditch.
Oh,
Yeah, because spoiler, Dumbledore dies in this film, and he doesn't go back to school after that.
Wait, did he die? This is the one they died in, right?
Yes.
Because you didn't have clips of the hand. I'll cut this out, obviously, but
Oh,
that's right.
totally.
So
we can talk about the hand.
So just something to say. This is the movie when I was watching the Harry Potters and I went to go see the Deathly Hallows. This is the movie that I missed, and so when Voldemort got the wand at the end and dug into Dumbledore's grave, that's when in the theater out loud I said, "What the hell happened to Dumbledore?" This is the movie that I missed because. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the movie that I've only seen, I think, once. Yeah.
Oh man, so good. You got to go back and rewatch it. Let's talk about the forced perspective shot with Hagrid and Slughorn at the table.
Slughorn,
Very Harry
yeah.
Potter, right?
You mean very Lord of the Rings?
Yes. Very Lord of the Rings,
yes.
right?
But it works very well because, I mean, Hagrid is supposed to be this just gigantic guy, and hard to act, they were saying in Lord of the Rings, because you don't really get to look at the person. You're saying,
eye lines. Mm-hmm.
The eye line should be around here. And you can, because we were looking for it, maybe get a little bit, but the performance comes off really well, though.
Yeah.
No, it's a cool shot, and it's such a perfect budget, filmmaking way to do things.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it was shot that way, or do you think it was shot on green screen?
No, I think it was definitely shot that way. I mean, if there's no reason to use a green screen and you can do it without having to do that, then I would think that's the way to do it. Because then you have to worry about lighting. You have to worry about all kinds of other stuff. I mean, that's my assumption. I might be wrong.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get to the bathroom scene. Getting hot in the bathroom. Splashing around in the bathroom. What did you think? Do you like the style of fighting? Sequence?
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was... It's not this epic grand scale, but it's supposed to be just a one-on-one, is he around the corner type. It's almost like a Jason Bourne type thing. Not as action-packed, but it's like, okay, close quarters, combat, I'm throwing out a lot of different movie names. I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Moving cameras, like moving along with them, shaking kind of thing.
Yeah, and you're starting to get this idea that, okay, there's some definite, like, dark sides to Harry because he basically killed the dude, or he definitely messed him up really bad, and he feels bad about it, but he still has it within him. So it's kind of cool stuff.
So this is the sequence where I think they did a reverse. I think it's reverse when he does the blood thing. Like because the blood and he sucks it back into his body.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
I think that was filmed in reverse. Backward.
That would make perfect sense. Yeah, because there would be no. Well, the blood's going back that way. Is the water still running?
I think the water's just kind of
still.
Yeah, it's just kind of moving like crazy. Hold on.
Okay,
I can
so you wouldn't be able to tell
if
it's going
quickly. Ooh, actually, it kind of looks like it's going backwards. The water. Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of confirms it then. So they probably did run it backwards, but it works fine for the shot. It's not like you made a huge note of it. So if you guys want like a fun Star Wars story about this, in the Mustafar sequence, they switched the way that the camera was going, and when they reversed the footage, the lava waterfalls were actually going upstream. So they caught it, and Dale's the guy to fix it. But that's what came to mind for that. But yeah, awesome. That's a perfect idea of why you would play it in reverse. You want to have this really cool scene and water, to go through cloth and stuff like that's really hard to do. So to just reverse it seems like it's very smart.
Okay, so let's go to the last sequence. So Dumbledore warps to this awesome little rock in the middle of nowhere with these giant waves around them to an awesome cliff.
Oh, such cool stuff. Oh, those shots are just so pretty.
So in the book, they swim to that to that place.
Oh, really? Across the pond? They went across the pond?
They went across the pond. But it's so funny. It's so funny. It's so funny, though, because, like, when I read in the book, I always thought it would be so funny to see Dumbledore like, full on.
Oh, my dear, drowning.
But I guess because of whatever magic was over there, you couldn't apparate in or whatever. You would have to get there kind of thing. So, But it's funny because I don't think they're wet in the following shots, but there's no need to tell us how they got in there anyway. But what did you think of that whole kind of vibe, the feel of it, like the darkness and the...
Honestly, so the cave itself, Mines of Moria, that's what I thought of, especially when they cast the light down there. And then I love the look of the waves and just... the shots reminded me of two of my favorite visual effects movies ever. One is called What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams, where it has this beautiful depiction of heaven and then kind of purgatory and then hell, like very artistic depictions of it. If you guys haven't seen it, it's a beautiful, beautiful movie. And then also it reminded me of the movie Constantine with Keanu Reeves, maybe my favorite visual effects movie, just certain shots. And but just really cool maelstrom of fire around Dumbledore but it's cool, you can see the fire like from the underside where Harry is, like up above. You're like, what's going on up there? You're like, oh, like it was really, really, really cool scenes. Like they definitely kick it into high gear at the end of every one of these movies for sure.
What did you think of the creatures that were coming out of the water and stuff?
That's what reminded me of What Dreams May Come. It's just like these kind of sickly... I mean, it's kind of almost Lord of the Rings issue, like Army of the Dead, but it really reminds me of What Dreams May Come, where it's actually almost the exact same thing. All these bodies are dragging down these other people and just kind of trapping them there. Like, I thought it looked cool. Like, did you have any issues with any of this stuff, or were you all on board? I thought it was great. Yeah.
And, you know, like we talked about before, when it's dark, you can really get away with a lot. You know what I mean? Like with the details and stuff, like now if we compare this to the ring raves, or not the ring raves, the Dementors of the last film. Remember in the yellow light?
In the tunnel light.
It was so bright and stuff where everything just kind of fell off because you can see too much detail with these little guys crawling up the water and stuff. It's kind of like you just kind of.
Do you think those are real people though? I mean, the Dementors were obviously not real.
No, they're just like skeletons. Oh, you're talking. I was talking about the people in the water. You're talking about Dementors or the water people?
The water people. Yeah, the water people.
No, I don't think they were real, but they're sure creepy looking, huh?
I thought maybe they were. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look again. I only looked at them once.
I kind of wish the dead marshes scene looked like this in Lord of the Rings. Instead of like, I got where they're going with like the green ghost people, but this looks so much cooler than the green ghost.
It looks really cool. Yeah. Have you seen What Dreams May Come or no?
No, I have not. I just
we should definitely watch that.
Yes,
that's
on my list now.
I mean, a lot of people haven't seen it, I think, but we'll have to watch that pretty soon and do a movie review on there because it's a great visual, and it just takes pages. This takes pages out of that book for sure.
I guess
really, really cool stuff.
The people in the water, if they're people, they kind of look like Smeagol's.
They did look like Smeagol's. I was like, oh, especially the one that was dragging it down. He's like, Precious, stay with us.
This way. You're burning us, Precious. What do we do, Precious? It's like a misunderstanding. Dude, what if this is Gollum's cave and he learned how to duplicate himself? And I'm just kidding.
Oh, no.
The power of the One Ring.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Crossing too many universes here.
Anything that really stood out to you that didn't work? Because we liked the last film, especially visual effects and special effects and visual effects, but we had some little nitpicks with it. But I didn't really have any in this one. Did you have any at all?
No, and I think it's because it's so stylized. And I think when it's stylized, you can kind of, you know what I mean? I don't want to say get away with more, but like it was really cool, like the way the effects were molded with the style and everything like that. And also, the story has everything to do with it too. You know what I mean? Like
it's true.
In the last one, there was a dark scene with all the balls falling and stuff like that. But like this dark cavern just looked so much better than that. And I don't know why. It can just be because the ball thing just looked like duplicates, like in the hallway kind of thing. Where this just feels like a dark tunnel kind of thing. It's tough.
But so I really, really like this one. Again, this is the movie I've maybe seen the least amount of times because I missed it the first time. Didn't know. But I really liked it. I'm really excited to get into these last couple. Going to be really, really fun. Is this the one in the beginning of the movie where he's with a girl in a cafe?
Yeah.
I never got the point of that scene. Is there a point to that? I mean, in the books, I thought maybe there was more to it, but I was just like, what was the point of that? I had no idea.
It's just, I think, maybe showing that Harry can't have a normal life until he deals with the issues at hand kind of thing.
Oh, I thought it was maybe that they're showing like, oh, they're growing up, they're interested in like, you know, the opposite side. I don't know, but I just always thought that was a weird scene because I thought it was going to come back like she was a bad person or it seemed like she had some type of little magic, you know, about her because she thought she saw something move. I forgot, but I don't know.
You know, I think it was one of those things kind of like where like Harry can't have a normal life. Like he's destined to solve this issue, right? He was like destined to be connected to Voldemort. This whole thing where it's like I think even like the third movie really talks about how like, you know, they would separate him, you know, and all the shots and stuff just show like he has to go at this alone. And I think the whole point is like he doesn't have to do it alone. That's why he has his friends. And we'll see in the other two films, just in case you guys haven't seen them at this point. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's his life is this way, you know, like he can't have a normal relationship right now. He can't do this because of the circumstances and all that stuff. So
yeah, cool. So really cool stuff, you guys. Hopefully you've been enjoying going through this series as much as we have. It's just really fun to revisit these shots. And story-wise, it's always amazing, but trying to kind of really look at the effects for effects is sometimes hard to do because if you're doing a good job, you get caught up in the story. But hopefully you've been enjoying this. We're going to be covering the rest of them, so check back. Like Nick was saying, we have a good number of deepfakes for Harry Potter. We also have more incoming for Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
And just a lot of other content that we want to do. We want to do fun things that we have fun doing and that you guys would enjoy as well. So please let us know what you like. Check out AsArt.space. You can find out all the audio and video links and any other stuff we have posted there. And we'll see you on the next AsArt.